We are going to Antarctica because we were asked by the Finnish Meteorological Institute to participate in their campaign. They are going there to do aerosol research. Basically, what they want to know is aerosol composition in the air, the number of aerosols, and they are meteorological scientists, so they are interested in the influence of aerosols in the climate. Aerosol is also an important input parameter for climate models, so it's important to measure it. I'm a project engineer there, and I'm responsible for the measurement campaigns. So for everything that has to do with it, from organization, installation of the devices on site, and also data evaluation afterwards. They are meteorological scientists, so they are interested in how the aerosols interact with the climate or how they participate in it. And basically in Antarctica, because you don't have a lot of man-made pollution there, you can see very clearly background effects, and they want to measure how they change over time. The Finnish Institute approached Pallas because we have a long history with them. We did several campaigns with them together, and they have also some devices from us running on other sites. So they had they have a good experience with us, and that's why they asked us to participate in this campaign. We will go to Antarctica with two devices. One is a CPC, a particle counter that counts particles up to 5 nanometers of size, so everything of 5 nanometers and bigger. And this is basically to measure the particle count in the air. In Antarctica, I expect the particle count to be very low compared to here because of the lack of man-made sources. The second device we take to Antarctica is our cloud droplet analyzer. This device is to measure particles that are a little bit bigger. So it can measure from 0.2 micrometers up to 100 micrometers. And it is specially designed for low concentrations, which we have in Antarctica, and also has a very high resolution. The preparations that were necessary from our side were basically to set up the devices, to prepare the devices for shipping. The whole campaign is organized by the Finnish Meteorological Institute, so all the organization and the shipping part were organized by them. Of course, we assisted them, for example, with the custom papers for our devices, but from the preparation side, we only needed to prepare our own devices that will be going. Of course, there were also some special requests. For example, for the Argentinian customs, you need to label all parts in the shipping containers. Even if it's just a little piece of pipe, it needs to have a label on it. And this is something I was doing before the shipment. Also for me personally, there are a lot of things that I needed to do before departure. I got a long list of medical checkups that needed to be done before departure from the Argentinians. So I visited a lot of doctors in the last month. I don't really know what to expect from the station right now. I've done some research in the internet, of course, and I expected to be basically metal containers in the middle of nowhere, painted red because in winter there will be a lot of snow. And I also expected to be very basic, so because everything they use there they need to bring in summer. I think the food and the facilities will be very basic. It is also a military basis, so there will be around 100 people. That's why I don't expect it to be that lonely. Actually, I'm really happy that I can go to Antarctica because the original plan were that our CEO is going. But as the dates are really unsure, and it can be that they shift for several weeks, he was not able to go, so he asked me and I said yes. Antarctica is very remote, so I think if we have any difficulties, it can be hard to handle. For example, if a part of the device fails, we cannot just call someone to ship it overnight. that's also why I packed some spare parts in the luggage to take with me. And of course also the setup outside can be very rough. I expect the conditions to be harsh, and the cloud droplet analyzer is set up outside of the building. And I think this can be a challenging part. Right now the plan is to start in November, so to be in Antarctica in the station in November. This is why we would need to leave in October, end of October. And then it's the plan to get back in December, mid of December. But of course Antarctica is very hard to reach. Depending on the weather conditions, it can be that the dates can be shifted for even several weeks. So I'm hoping to be back before Christmas, but I'm not sure. The way to get to Antarctica is from Argentina by a military plane that will fly us to the station. And so I need to travel to Buenos Aires first, and from there we will depart to the station in Antarctica. During my stay there, we will be also analyzing the data we got, so we will be looking at the data frequently, but of course after the campaign we will also get the data from the other people and we can put them together to get a bigger picture. From a scientific point of view, I think it will be very interesting because Antarctica is a place like nowhere else, so I expect the aerosols and the size distribution to be very different from other places I've known. And also for me personally, it will be very interesting because I've traveled to a lot of places now with Pallas. For example, I traveled to La Palma to set up places around the active volcano, or to Jungfraujoch in Switzerland. But this will be the remotest place by far. And this is very challenging, but also very interesting.